So in my last video, I told you guys how to inculcate proverbs into your daily use of words in order to develop confidence. Now in this video, I'm doing something different, but I'm coming from a different pedestal, though you know, it's gonna meet at a certain point. Follow me carefully. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about frequency, your vibrational level. Well, you might have heard it in a couple of places. I don't know. But I want to explain to you how just by raising your frequency, you can be able to develop confidence, adding up with your proverbs, you know, because there's an Igbo adage that says that na onyojo adịghị more, you know, onyojo adịghị more, na onye isi nkwụcha adịghị eje ọgụ okwute, onye isi nkwụcha adịghị eje ọgụ okwute. And I'll explain. Follow me carefully. So talking about your vibrational level and your frequency, look at the basic things that you can do in order to raise your frequency. And one of those things is water. I mean, there's no way I can start this video without mentioning water. It's basic, 70% of our body is made up out of water. And then there's an Igbo adage that also says that na iruenyi miri ka. That is to say, if something gets dirty, it must be clean with water. Not just that it only have to be water, but water is a basic form of cleanliness. So yes, water. Drink lots and lots of water, and then thank me later. Water is very vital. It can never be overemphasized. Alright? Take it seriously. I don't know. If you're drinking maybe 2 liters a day, double it. Drink lots of water, and your body will appreciate. Then going to the next one. The next one is your environment. Cleaning your environment. Because I don't know if we know that anything that that we have here have an energy. It emits a frequency. And then if it's dirty, if your item or maybe your environment is dirty, it's emitting a negative frequency. And then that frequency interferes with your own frequency, so that you may drink a lot of water, dress clean, and you're staying in a negative environment. I mean, it's trapping you down. And then some people say that it's winch that is doing you, or your village people. My sister, my brother, my dear, it's not your village people, it's your environment that's holding you down. And then talking about your environment, I'm talking about the dirtiness of your environment. It has an frequency, and it's emitting, and it's intersecting yours. So keep a clean environment, sweep, tidy the place up, remove the cobwebs. You might have heard this is I'm saying before, but I'm saying it again because I think it's necessary, because we are headed somewhere. So we need to start from the basic, your environment, yes. And then the way you pack your clothes, the way you keep your clothes on the wardrobe. Are they packed? Are they neatly, kept? Are they folded properly? It's a question, and you have to answer. So the way you keep your clothes, because any clothes you're putting on your body, if it's rumpled, it's emitting a certain energy, and if it's well, iron clean, it's emitting also a certain energy, right? So you take care of that, and then it will take care of your energy. Then going to the third one. The third one is eating good food, healthy food, so to say. Eat as natural food as you can. Though I won't say you shouldn't take snacks, but we're talking about your health, and then your energy, your frequency. So eat as much natural food as you can. Go natural. Then the fourth one is grounding. Grounding. I believe you know what I mean. You pull off your shoe as much as you can. Try to make your foot to get contact with the soil. Touch some trees with your bare hand. It helps, right? And then the fifth one is, looking, staring at the sun, looking at the sun as much as you can. I've forgotten the words for it, but I'm telling you that if you do that often, if you practice these things I'm saying, you will see a difference in your life. So I've mentioned drinking of water, grounding, keep your environment clean, stacking your clothes nicely. So let me go to the last but not the least, meditation. You heard that clearly. Meditation. Yeah, it's easy sequence. Meditation. Now this go deeper. You have to, like, it goes deeper than just the way it sounds. Because the way you breathe deeply. Okay, you breathe properly. You don't breathe like an animal. You breathe like a human being. So you have to make some research. How do a normal human being breathe? Because these are the things that will bring you back to yourself. And then going further, I want to add asking relevant questions. Don't just swallow everything you hear. Hook, line, and sinker. Asking relevant questions. These questions that have been bugging your mind, you are too scared to ask. I think I must add, taking fear. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Because if you are scared, people notice, but you don't know. So don't be scared. And then the bonus, let me add some bonus. What is the bonus? Yes, asking for forgiveness. I mean, making peace with yourself, knowing that everything there's a reason for everything. And then asking for forgiveness where you have offended. And the proper way to ask for forgiveness is telling the person that you offended what you did, and then asking for forgiveness from the person. Not that you go and confess to maybe God knows where, the Almighty knows where. I don't like to use that word God. I use the word Almighty, right? So you go ask. Some people even go to somebody I don't know to ask for forgiveness. It's not done that way. So if you forgive me, you have to come and tell me, listen, and then ask me for forgiveness. If I've forgiven you, then you know that you've been forgiven. That's the proper way things are done. So these and more are the ways, to raise your frequency, to raise your vibrational level, so that when you walk, people know that, yeah, there's something about this person, but we can't quite figure it out. But indeed, there is something. So if you've watched this video till now, come on, give it a like, please, I beg. Follow me, if you follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Then see you on the next one. Bye, love you. I remain Armstrong Ogomeg. That's my name. Bye, love you.